gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I'll admit you were banging, but I couldn't permit you to make my life misery. So I figured we'd end this before it got any more ugly.
What you gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I ain't gon' bullshit you, I've been meaning to get you. So if you can't just let this die peacefully, my advice would be to simply get you a step out of the picture. It took a while, but it became clear that you and me were just a bad idea. Cause what were once minor tensions that brewed between you and me eventually seemed to grow exponentially. You were intentionally trying to get under my skin, and you succeeded. I figured I'd give you time to start acting right, but you proceeded to take advantage of my love for you. But everyone's got the limits, and I've about had enough of you. Contrary to what you have come to believe, I'm not as weak and naive as you probably prefer. So I'm not surprised that you seem so surprised that a situation such as this ever could occur now. As far as thought, I've given this quite a lot. You say I'll miss you when you're gone is one sure way to see if you're right or not. And if you are, I'll say so, but for now, don't let this knob hit with your butt when I'm kicking this door shut.
What you gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I'll admit you were begging, but I couldn't permit you to make my life misery. So I figured we end this before it got any more ugly.
What you gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I ain't gon' bullshit you, I've been meaning to get you. So if you can't just let this die peacefully, my advice would be to simply get yourself out of the picture. Far be it for me to say that I never did anything wrong, but I know when it's time to move on. But you don't seem to be taking it quite as well. All your back-to-back beats, I got my pager on low cell. It's strange, for as detached as you used to be, I'm shocked that my who is and my whereabouts and things you even care about. You said with me, time's just dragging along. You're glad to be gone, but now everywhere I go, you wanna be tagging along. As far as being friends, that's cool, but make no mistake, there's no more us. There's a me and then there's you. So don't show up on my crib ballin'. And if you really hate me and don't wanna speak to me anymore, fine, stop calling. And if I'm seen with another chick, take your friends out my face. I ain't gotta explain shit. My love was there, but you opted to fight it. Lots of luck finding someone to treat you as good as I did.
What you gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I'll admit you were begging, but I couldn't permit you to make my life misery. So I figured we'd end this before it got any more ugly. Hanging out with the cool ex is fine. It's one of them exes that ruins a good time. So unless you don't mind the flipping in public and embarrassing you, whatever you do, don't be bringing your Witcha with you. No matter how I try to rationalize the situation, I still can't find a reason to stay. You and I was off and on, but now that it's all begin, should remain that way. I was good to you, but you were no good for me. Nothing you say is gonna make me sway. I never wanted it to be like this, and if it had to end, I wish it hadn't been this way. No matter how I try to rationalize the situation, I still can't find a reason to stay. You and I was off and on, but now that it's all begin, it should remain that way. I was good to you, but you were no good for me, and nothing you say is gonna make me sway. And in the midst of everything we fought about, you should've thought about
what you gonna do, Witcha? Now that I'm through, Witcha.
I'll admit you were banging, but I couldn't permit you to make my life misery. So I figured we'd end this before it got any more ugly. And by advice to the fellas, hanging out with the cool ex is fine. It's one of them exes that ruins a good time. So unless you don't mind, I'm living in public and embarrassing you. Whatever you do, don't be bringing your Witcha with you, stupid.